What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of History Behind the Horror. Before we start tonight's video about SCP-035, I would like to give a big apology to everyone who's been waiting on me to do another video. I haven't done a History Behind the Horror video in almost 2 weeks, and I haven't done a Friday Night Fright video in probably 2 to 3 weeks. But rest assured, after this video, we will be getting back into our regular schedule program. I just got a little busy, but hopefully everything is now fixed and we can get back to doing videos as we used to before this whole little break happens. So next Friday, be looking out for another Friday Night Fright. I don't know what I'm going to be choosing yet, but if you have any ideas, put it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more SCPs on this channel, make sure you put it in the comment section what you want to see next, or any other game you want to see next, to give you some ideas, because I'm always looking for them. And make sure you give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know exactly when a new episode is out. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming back after so long. I really do appreciate it. And as always, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. SCP-035 is to be kept within a sealed glass case no fewer than 10 centimeters thick. This case is to be contained within a steel iron and lid shielded room at all times. Doors are to be triple locked at all times, with the exception of allowing personnel in or out. No fewer than 2 armed guards are to be posted at any time. Guards must remain outside at all times and not allowed within the containment room under any circumstances. A trained psychologist is to remain on site at all times. Research personnel are not to touch SCP-035 at any time. SCP-035 must be moved to a new sealed case every 2 weeks. The previous case must be disposed of via SCP-101, as it shows no reaction to SCP-035's corruption. Anyone who comes in contact with SCP-035 when it is in possession of a host is to be given an immediate psychological evaluation. Description: SCP-035 appears to be a white comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. In these events, all existing visual records such as photographs, video footage, even illustrations of SCP-035 automatically change to reflect its new appearance. A highly corrosive liquid constantly seeps from the eye and mouth holes of SCP-035. Anything coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it has decayed completely into a pool of the original contaminant. Glass seems to react slower to the effects of the item, hence the construction choice of its immediate container. Living organisms that come into contact with this substance react much the same way, with no chance of recovery. Origins of the liquid is unknown. Liquid is only visible from the front and does not emerge or is even visible from the other side. Subjects within 1.5 to 2 meters of SCP-035 or in visual contact with it experience a strong urge to put it on. When SCP-035 is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from SCP-035 overlaps that of the original host, effectively snuffing out and causing brain death to the subject. Subject then claims to be the consciousness contained within SCP-035. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accurate rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses. Nonetheless, SCP-035 has demonstrated the ability to remain in control of a body experiencing severe structural damage, even if the subject's body literally decays to the point where motion is not mechanically possible. No effects is found to be had when placed on the face of an animal. Conversations with SCP-035 have proven to be informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general, as SCP-035 claims to have been at many events. SCP-035 displays a highly intelligent and charismatic personality, being both admirable and flattering to those who speak with it. SCP-035 has scored a 99% on all intelligence tests administered to it and appears to have a photographic memory. However, psychological analysis have discovered SCP-035 to possess a highly manipulative nature, capable of forcing sudden and profound changes to interviewers' psychological state. SCP-035 has proven to be highly sadistic, prompting some to commit suicide and transforming others into near mindless servants with persuasion alone. SCP-035 has stated that it has intimate knowledge of the workings of the human mind and implied that it could change anyone's view if given enough time. Additional information. SCP-035 was found in a sealed crypt in an abandoned house in Venice in 18. SCP-035 has been found to be able to possess anything that has a humanoid shape, including mannequins, corpses, and statues. SCP-035 has been able to motivate all into movement, removing the need to expose live subjects to SCP-035. Still, anything it possesses eventually decays into motionlessness. SCP-035 has facilitated an escape attempt, convincing several of the research staff to aid it in its bid for freedom, but failed. All staff that have been in contact with SCP-035 have been terminated, and mandatory psychiatric evaluations have been implemented for all personnel coming into contact with SCP-035. It has been determined that SCP-035 is capable of telepath, whether or not it possesses a host, even penetrating to the subconscious of others and using the knowledge it finds to its advantage. Extreme caution is advised when choosing subjects to converse with SCP-035. SCP-035 has expressed an interest in other SCPs, most notably SCP-517 and SCP-682. Dr. has expressed worry that should SCP-035 bond with either, their regenerative qualities will negate its corruption and give a permanent host. After several more escape attempts and after reviewing SCP-035's incident record, High Command has ordered that it be permanently sealed within the facility and prohibited from being allowed any more hosts. Several personnel have protested against this, with some even erupting into violence. As a result, all personnel that have come into contact with SCP-035 have been terminated. Going forward, all personnel that deal with SCP-035 are to be rotated frequently, and contact is to be limited even to its dormant state to as little as possible. Personnel within 10 meters of SCP-035 have recently reported feeling uneasy, stating that they can hear unintelligible whispering. Several others have suffered from severe migraines. Objects have been monitored, but there is no change in its dormant behavior and no sounds have been recorded. The motion to reinstate SCP-035's host privileges have been brought up once more, if only on a temporary basis to discover the new changes in the object's behavior. Denied. The walls of SCP-035's containment cell have suddenly begun creating a black substance. Tests on the substance have revealed it to be human blood, although highly contaminated with several foreign and unknown agents. Substance is corrosive, having a pH of 4.5, and prolonged exposure to the walls have proven to be detrimental to their structural integrity. More notably, it seems to be forming patterns on the walls. Several segments seem to be paragraphs in various languages, including Italian, Latin, and Greek. Translation is pending. Other segments appear to be diagrams depicting ritualistic sacrifice and mutilation, often for the arcane benefit of the person committing them. Several staff members have been shocked to note that all of the sacrifices bear an uncanny resemblance to various personnel and their loved ones, often in conflicting positions. Researchers, while in the room examining these newly formed patterns, have complained of hearing loud whispering and high-pitched, unnerving laughter at irregular intervals. Personnel in the section working daily near and around SCP-035's containment unit have suffered catastrophic morale damage, with an all-time high in suicide rates in staff in that area, whether or not they have ever had contact with SCP-035. In light of the mass suicide and homicide of the members of the research team tasked with translating the passages garnered from SCP-035's containment cell, the morale damage in the area, and general loss of staff dealing with SCP-035 to either death or insanity, it has been decided to coat the inner and outer walls of its containment cell with SCP-148, which have proved well in the containment of SCP-132, in order to hopefully block out the high levels of negativity being emitted by SCP-035. The use of SCP-148 has worked well, causing morale and suicide rates to return to near pre-SCP-035 rates. However, the material appears to facilitate the negativity within the cell, causing a greenhouse effect inside. Personnel inside the cell have stated that they feel a heavy sense of dread, fear, anger, and general depression, as well as hearing constant, near inaudible whispering upon immediate entry. A prolonged stay causes severe migraine, suicidal tendencies, heavy strain of blood vessels around the eyes and inside the mouth and nose, general hostility to others, and for the whispering to increase to almost deafening volumes intersected by a constant mocking laughter. Exposure of more than 3 hours will result in the subject falling into a deep psychosis and attempting to harm either themselves or others. Most spoke in Latin or Greek, despite the fact that several did not previously know how to speak said languages beforehand. The presence of blood in both word and diagram formation formations has increased disproportionately, the walls becoming cluttered and the formations beginning to overlap each other. The substance has proven to be both difficult to clean and even more corrosive than it was originally recorded, with a pH of roughly 2.4. General estimation gives the current walls a lifespan of 2 months before they need to be replaced. It is becoming gradually more and more difficult to contain SCP-035, and the debate to reinstate the host privileges have once again come up. Denied. The wall, ceiling, and floor of SCP-035's containment cell has now been completely saturated in blood. All personnel entering and guarding the area must wear full hazmat protection suits. Constant cleaning efforts are being instated. The magnitude, intensity, and recurrence of the phenomena that occur within SCP-035's containment cell has increased to an alarming degree. The cell door has been known to become locked on its own accord while personnel are inside and unable to open it for a period of time. Appendages form out of the larger puddles of blood and often attempt to grab or harm personnel near them. Blurry operations have started appearing to staff. Electrical devices no longer work inside the cell and the light cannot be turned on, though there is no physical reason why it does not work, forcing those entering to use non-electrical based light sources. Cleaning measures are having no effect on the cell, and the walls are degrading at a very high rate, forcing them to be replaced within a week at best, although the blood makes it nearly impossible to properly achieve this. SCP-035 may have to be moved to a new cell entirely, with the old one sealed off and disengaged from the rest of the facility.
Someone actually found me. I thought I was done for a moment there. I can get us both safely to the surface. Just find the control panel in there and open the chamber doors for me. What? Do you not? Alright. I admit it. I wouldn't blame you if you don't think I look trustworthy. But please, I need your help, and quickly. The mask has been stuck to my face for some time now, and I think I might need medical attention or it might kill me from the inside. Just let me out, and I can find us an exit in a matter of time. Unfortunately, I never had any intentions of taking you with me, so this is where we part ways. But for the sake of my freedom, I have reason to believe that SCP-079 is taking control of the facility's systems, including the door system. Your best bet is to appeal to it somehow. Hopefully you can come to a compromise. However, it does not control the warheads, which you should disable remotely in the event that something goes wrong. You know, the mobile task force will be entering the facility any minute now. Wait, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are... Please, what? Just please. I can't... Thank you. Just please, don't do that again. So, you really don't want to leave this place alive, do you? You know there's no way a lone D-class like you will make it to the surface safely. Even if you did, they'd gun you down the moment you came across their reticles. I'll give you one more chance here. Just open the chamber doors, and we'll forget about this little gas incident. You know, the mobile task force will be entering the facility any minute now. I commemorate you for your help, but I have no further business with you. I have no intentions of taking a person who earned their imprisonment with me. But for the sake of my freedom, the simplest way for you to get out safely is to go and find SCP-012 in the light containment zone. If you can read between the lines, it'll be as interpretable as a map. Good luck.
And that ends our story of SCP-035. I learned a lot with this episode, more than what I thought I was going to learn. I guess it's more of a looks can be deceiving kind of situation, because I thought with this mask, it probably wasn't a lot. You kind of put it on, you might die. Just like you put on the ring, you're going to bleed out and die, or you eat too much candy from the candy bowl, the SCP candy bowl, you're going to die. I didn't think it was going to be that hectic. I never knew that this mask would be that much of a troublemaker, with the blood on the walls, the blood on the floor, the arms coming out of the ground, the laughing, the noises, you know, all of the things that, you know, was going on with this mask, making people want to commit suicide, going in people's minds and making them do all kind of things that they don't want to do. It's really insane. I'm really glad that I picked this episode up and decided to do it. I can't give the right shout out to someone because I can't remember who told me, but they told me on our community post why asked what video we should do next. So make sure you guys, or you guy or woman, shout yourselves out for the ones who told me to do that. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any more other SCPs you want me to cover, make sure you let me know, and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like it, share it, leave a comment for the next episode, and hit the bell notification so you'll always get up to date when a new episode is available. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I hope to see you on the next episode of History Behind the Horror.